Hey guys, Zachary Livingston here, and today we're going to talk about iOS 11 and if you should put it on your daily driver. So let's dive into that right now. At WWDC, Apple unveiled the newest iOS for iPhone that is coming later this fall to the public. This would be the iOS that we will be using for the next year, along with its little updates like 11.1 and 11.2 and so on and so forth. This is also the iOS that is expected to launch with the next generation iPhone. Now, let's get started on the newest features and software that Apple has implemented into iOS 11. Let's start with Control Center. Control Center is the biggest change I think we've got in iOS 11. Gone is the multi-card screen from iOS 10, and now is one screen page. That at first, yes, it is a bit overwhelming and all over the place, but once you start using it for a couple weeks, it actually is a lot more intuitive than the last version of Control Center. Starting from the left, you have your toggles for Wi-Fi, cellular, and etc. The next box you have is your media player controls. Following that, you have your screen orientation lock, your do not disturb, cool sliders for your brightness and volume, screen mirroring, flashlight, and more. The best part is that it's customizable. You can just go into the settings under Control Center and add and remove the toggles that you want. And that's not all. Apple is actually working with third-party apps and third-party developers to get the toggles that would work for their apps put in as well. Now let's talk about the design language. Across the board, iOS 10 was a completely different design language. Apple kind of showed a hint in iOS 10 of what was to come with Apple Music. And now that design language is now embedded everywhere in iOS 11. Everything is crisp, bold, and big. The lettering that makes things seem simplistic and very, very visible from the apps from like the phone and all the other ones, even to all the way to the App Store. These are the biggest changes. All of the icons on the bottom of each app are colored in, filled in, just to kind of give us a refresh look at what iOS should be moving forward. App Store got a huge redesign. You get a Today screen, and at first, again, this is one of those apps I thought was all over the place, and now it seems to be actually coming together throughout the betas, and everything seems to be working right now. The Today screen looks really, really good. It actually updates to newer apps and talks about other apps, and it's really, really awesome. And maybe it will help people kind of understand the app that they are getting and find new apps and games that they should be getting. Now, I want to touch on the topic of the performance and stability. iOS 11 is getting there. Now, don't get me wrong, it is no iOS 10.3.3, which is a really, really stable operating system. So assuming most of you are actually on iOS 10.3.3, going to iOS 11 is going to be a bit of a hiccup. The Geekbench scores actually went back up by a couple hundred points. On Beta 3, they had dipped. However, on Beta 4, they seem to be back to their normal scores. Apple has fixed a lot of bugs throughout these past 4 betas. And on the last beta, Springboard kept crashing on me all the time, and it seems like they have gotten that under control. However, I've had it crash so far this week twice, only while watching YouTube, so I don't really know if it is an optimization thing for YouTube not being optimized for iOS 11, of course, because it's not out yet, or if it is something else under the hood. The system seems really fluid. Getting around, they fixed the bugs in the app switcher and added some new animations that look really, really good. And when you try to go into the app switcher with Swisher, when you try to go into the app switcher with no apps open, the Taptic Engine gives you some feedback and it does a cool little gesture. So props on Apple for actually paying attention to the small details. All that being said, I think if you want the stability and no bugs, you might as well wait for a couple more betas to see how things iron out. However, if you're okay with the hiccups here and there, iOS 11 is an amazing operating system, and I would never tell anyone not to get this. It is actually really, really good, at least on the public beta. I have no clue. I use the developer beta, and everything just seems to be ironing out smoothly. Of course, there's going to be bugs, so take that to note. If you want to see more videos like this, click the like button. Also, subscribe button with that little bell icon to get notifications when I upload new videos. Thanks guys for watching, and see you next time.